While many countries in the world were self-sufficient in defense sector, Indian defense sector was moving like a snail, even after many years of getting independence from colonial rulers. However, in recent years, India have changed from a defense importing country to a defense exporting country. How did this happen? Welcome to my channel Wisdom Reloaded. Let's start from the past. Various kind of tensions are always existed in Indian borders, hence, Indian defense budget is always in an increasing trend. None of the previous governments gave enough importance for manufacturing defense materials in India. With that, India became one of the largest defense importers in the world. In most of the defense material purchase, many ministers and middlemen continued to commit massive corruptions. Bofors scam, Barak missile scam, Augusta Westland helicopter scam are few among them. As there were no proper investments in the defense sector, Indian-made defense products were not even used by the Indian military. That was really a disaster. Then the Modi government's projects like Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat started giving more importance to the manufacturing sectors in India, which brought massive changes. Public sector defense companies in India has got remarkable changes in recent years. Bharat Dynamics has received an export order of $225 million in the beginning of 2023. Bharat Electronics has secured export orders worth around $52 million in 2023 alone. Cochin Shipyard started exporting different types of vessels to many international clients. Recently, Cochin Shipyard won an export order of around 1,000 crores from a European client. Private sector was barred from defense production until 2001, when the defense industry was opened up. Post-liberalization, especially after the launch of the Make in India initiative in 2014, India's private sector has seen remarkable growth. As of 2022-23, it has cornered about 20% of India's total defense production. It is worth noting that the private sector's involvement in defense production is subject to the government's approval through a process of industrial licensing. As of April 2023, the government has issued 606 licenses to 369 companies. Indian defense exports have increased from just 290 crore rupees in the year 2010-11 to nearly 21,083 crore rupees by 2023-24. Defense exports has grown 700% during this period. US being the largest buyer, the country now exports to over 90 nations. Which is really a marvelous change, isn't it? The key measures undertaken in the last 10 years. Appointment of Chief of Defense Staff, CDF, and creation of Department of Military Affairs, DMA. In 2019, Indian government has created the post of Chief of Defense Staff, which is said to be the most significant defense reform since independence. Though the measure was to fasten cooperation in the functioning of the defense forces, the charter of the CDS and the newly created Department of Military Affairs has a far-reaching impact on defense indigenization. CDS-led DMA has so far announced 5 lists of over 500 items that are banned from import after a stipulated time for each listed item. In other words, these items will eventually be manufactured in India. Acquisition reforms. To deepen the domestic industry's role in the procurement process, the government has refined the arms procurement processes as codified in the Defense Acquisition Procedure. The key reform is further rationalizing the procurement categories by prioritizing domestic industry over foreign companies. Prioritized defense procurement categories, an integral part of the acquisition reform, is the government's effort to mandate higher indigenous content, including in parts, components, raw materials, and software, in various domestic industry-friendly procurement categories. Ease of doing business reform. Soon after assuming power in 2014, the Modi government took several steps to improve the ease of doing business environment, especially for the private sector. The government streamlined the industrial licensing process for the private sector, so that investors can easily obtain official permissions without bureaucratic hassles. This was soon followed by liberalizing the defense foreign direct investment regime by enhancing the earlier foreign equity cap from a maximum of 26% under the automatic route, first to 49%, and subsequently to 74%. Allowed FDI is up to 100% if it's through the government route. The FDI liberalization has led to an inflow of near $609 million till 2024. In addition, global conflicts and strategic government initiatives helped Indian government to achieve this target. Ministry of Defense has set a target of achieving an annual turnover of $36.1 billion in aerospace and defense services and manufacturing, and $6.02 billion worth of annual defense exports by 2028 to 2029. Over the next 5 to 7 years, the government of India plans to spend $130 billion for fleet modernization across all armed services. Furthermore, the government has established defense industrial corridors in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu to create a robust ecosystem for defense manufacturing. These corridors aim to attract investment, enhance connectivity, and fasten innovation through collaboration between industry and academia. Understanding the opportunities, many global defense companies started investing in India. Recently, Airbus from Spain, in collaboration with Tata Advanced Systems, has started a manufacturing unit for making defense transport aircraft through Make in India program. Sweden's Saab has reportedly become the first foreign company that has bagged 100% FDI in India's defense projects. Saab will set up a new facility in the country that will manufacture shoulder-fired rockets. Adani Defense has entered into MOU with many leading companies in the defense sector at the international level to exchange technologies for manufacturing defense materials in India. The reform measures launched by the Modi government under the Make in India and the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiatives have begun positively impacting the Indian defense industry, as seen in its growing production and exports. Here I will wind up this explainer. Please subscribe this channel so that you will be notified when I come back with another interesting topic. Thank you.